want to make sure I can't go down because the show's not back.
Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature. We hope you enjoyed our first movie, Crash.
Wow, wow.
It's a miracle.
What did everyone think?
Red eyes of the impossible.
Oh my God, her secret red eyes were amazing.
Oh.
It's like,
Oh,
I love how like at the end he finally saw that she had secret red eyes. That was the best
yeah.
part.
If you love stunts, oh my God, this movie. There was one point where I was like, there were some cars, everything looked. I always joke, like, if you see a 70s movie and you're like, did someone get hurt making this? Chances are, yes, someone got hurt.
Yeah.
This movie really feels like it a lot of times. Also, both Vivi and Cubby lost their minds during the wheelchair attacking the dog sequence. Like,
They did.
it was like, yeah, it was a rough time to be in this house. Cubby did not like this movie.
I wonder what was up with that. Like the dog was trained, but it's clearly he's a good actor because your dogs were both like, "Oh man, this is good."
He's like, attention dogs, this scene is not real, but you should bark so it's upsetting for the humans.
Those barks were real. It was the
Yeah.
dog acting.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a method dog. This is what it would feel like. If a wheelchair came to life from a red-eyed girl and chased me.
Zoltan studied with Lee Strasberg, I
I
heard.
think so. Yeah.
He was a member of the Actors Studio as well.
Yeah. If you were to go to heaven, what would be the first thing you'd like to hear? And the dog goes, bark, bark, bark. Have you ever heard that? We did that on our old podcast. We had Cubby inside the Actors Studio, or Angelo on our old dog. And it was just like all the questions and him going, to every question.
What sound do you hate?
It was just the doorbell sound for that answer. It was like ding, and then he just him barking. What's your favorite swear word?
You have to drag it out. What's your favorite swear word?
Hey man, what's your favorite swear word? You don't know what being a friend is.
James Lipton always would drag out the last word.
Yeah.
Why?
I wish, if heaven is real, as James Lipton would always say, my heaven would be James Lipton interviewing the actors I want him to interview. I want Klaus Kinski on it, just ranting and screaming. And what's your favorite swear word? And Klaus Kinski just unleashing a barrage in his face, trying to bite him. That's what I want. Bill said it throughout this. She was very mean. Like, what gave her? Bill said, "What gave you the right to do this to these people?"
I'm glad you brought it up and not me.
Yeah, she was like, what led to this? That everybody in town had to pay. Not just, yes, I get it. There's a few people that had to pay, but everybody had to pay.
Mm-hmm. What if Prophecy Bear was riding shotgun and Killdozer?
It doesn't matter where you hide. Prophecy Bear will find you, even over the roar of the Killdozer.
Yeah.
Prophecy Bear can filter out the sound of the Killdozer and just hear what you whisper a mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want James Lipton to interview Prophecy Bear.
If Prophecy Bear
In the
could
words
keep him
of
ripping
my
his head off.
mentor, between Pabo, or whatever he would say, like we should edit one of those together where he interviews Helena Marcos.
Prophecy Bear and Helena Marcos.
James Lipton and Helena Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite sword? Get it, American. American girl.
Why don't you shop at Aldi, huh? You want to go to your local grocer? Why don't you get it at Aldi, huh?
The turkey's too expensive, eh?
Prophecy Bear could come out and sit next to Helena Marcos on the couch, and they could be like,
Yeah.
The Tonight Show.
Prophecy Bear will just cross his legs like it's the Dick Cavett show. Yeah.
ultra serious, like
Light up the
serious
smoke.
business. Yeah.
Intellectual.
Oh,
Well, you
with
know,
glasses and a cigarette on since the 70s.
I'm really more multifaceted than Prophecy lets on. I do have my more serious moments, this being
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
He's got a beret on.
Sitting next to Elena Marcus on the couch.
Oh, that would be a great talk show. What if it was like one of the weeks that Yoko and John Lennon hosted Dick Cavett, and they were like, oh, up next, Prophecy Bear.
Wow. A collision of culture.
Yeah.
Yoko could put Prophecy Bear on her next album.
It would have been interesting because Prophecy Bear is a Stones kind of dude. You know what I mean? None of this Beatles shit. None of this hippie shit.
Yeah.
He wanted to hear, like, let's spend the night together. That was Prophecy Bear.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he was more a Velvet Underground kind of bear.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I imagine him
Stones were kinda
dancing to rock
dirty,
and roll
though.
now.
Oh, God. Well, it looks like everybody kind of liked this. This is cool.
Yeah. Leif said that he could interview Tom McLaughlin, who wore the Prophecy Bear suit for that. That is correct, that he was Prophecy Bear in that movie. Oh, I really should have wore the Prophecy Bear shirt tonight. I let everybody down. I'll try to remember.
I need to get one of those.
Oh, they had it at Bill, who's the guys that make your shirts? Best Custom Tees. That's where I got it.
Past Custom Tees, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had it on the
Okay,
table
Joe
at one of their
Garcia.
shows, and I just saw the Prophecy Bear, and I was like, holy shit, a full color Prophecy Bear shirt?
Go to their site and buy their shit. Joe's shirts are quality. Like, I have stuff I bought from Joe that I've been wearing for years, and it still hasn't fallen apart, and the design looks pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
And they're way cheaper. They're like half the price of.
Yeah.
Not saying don't buy Fright Rag stuff. They make cool stuff too, but like they're way
whatever,
cheaper.
you know. But you can buy a couple more shirts from Joe because they're cheaper.
You can get some really weird titles where it's like, what? He has a shirt of it. Chances are, if there's a movie that you want a shirt from, like a 90% chance he has a shirt of it. Man, Prophecy Bear versus Max Bear Jr. Yeah. And Macon County Bear Trap. Oh, man. The other thing that hit me about this movie, and I said it to you guys, was I know that it's a 1977 low budget movie, but it looks great. The stunts look awesome. It's shot on film, so it looks great. It looks better than anything that's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
And like really went all out for it.
Yeah. Every penny was on screen, I have to say.
And not paid back to the people whose house they blew up, like you said, or any stunt people that were crippled for life.
Yeah.
Like,
gas station.
Yeah. That station blew up real good, as they say. They blew it up real good.
They did.
Man. I'm glad everybody has embraced Prophecy Bear, by the way. Not to bring it back, but he's really.
I know. I was just looking at this chat going, this is awesome. Like, I feel so warm for Prophecy Bear.
Seriously, he scarred me as a kid because, like, imagine as a kid, you just turn on HBO and all you see is the end of the movie when the helicopter pulls away and there's the one that comes up. And goes, ah. That's all I saw of it. And I was like 8 or 9. And I was like, no context. That's all I saw. And I was like, this movie is horrifying.
Yeah. That was a shocker, I have to admit. That was his Carrie moment.
Oh,
yeah.
John Frankenheimer. Poor John Frankenheimer.
Oh. I like the Bill also mentioned that Sue Lyon's hair looked great even in the hospital. Even at her worst moments in this, someone still found the time to do her hair and make sure that she looked right. And that's important. Even if her eyes were the color of the play button on the screen here, the YouTube logo button here on the screen. It made my eyes hurt. It made my eyes feel dry. Yeah.
They were secret red eyes. She didn't have them all the time.
No.
Got some really good drops here.
You've gone to Gooski's to see a show, Bill, with all the cigarette smoke there.
She's been,
yeah.
Your eyes get kind of red when she's been smoking a lot.
Yeah. I was just in a car accident, guys. All right.
She that's why she did her hair, because she was stoned. She was just like, I'm gonna sit here with my scarred face, still bandaged, but I'm gonna make sure my hair is meticulous.
You mentioned that the makeup on her skin was really good. It looked
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Especially later when it's just like the scars, like it looks really like sometimes scars they kind of go overboard. It looked like very normal, which I dug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing I loved
I
about this
didn't-
movie too was when John Carradine just showed up with his hair kind of stringy and like just hanging out in that records room. Like it was very heartwarming.
Yeah. Mm.
David Gregory, you're right. Lots of cool cars. You know, the worst car in this movie is cooler than any car you would see on the road today.
That's correct.
You want to see my impression of John Carradine working in a records room, handing you a folder?
Yes. I love that was the extent of his role in this film. It was just like it's definitely related to the occult.
Yeah. He was like, how long is this going to take? Because I have 17 more movies to film today. And they're like, don't worry, you're just being a scene in a records room talking about the occult. And they're like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably was holding the script. They had the script up and he was like, if you look right here at my line, this is what I'll say. Oh.
So is this like one of your favorite movies, Jen? Because you chose this. You chose both of these films.
Like I said, I'd only seen it for the very first time like a month ago, and I instantly just was like, I can't believe I made it to this age without having seen it. Like, how did this elude me for all these years? Because it's right perfectly like it was made for me.
Yeah.
You know?
And it
You're
has
really into Dracula's dog, though, aren't you?
Soul Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. That, I mean, so it's natural that you would be enamored with this film. I feel the same way. You know, this is the Band films, especially these early ones. You know, they definitely have a certain kind of vibe to them that I like very much. What about I Bury the Living?
I love that movie.
Film from the late 50s, directed by Albert Band. I think it may have been his first theatrical film. I could be wrong. But he really set up this very strange scenario in I Bury the Living, and it's haunted me ever since the first time I saw it.
And it's almost all in one room. The whole movie.
That weird room in the graveyard.
That weird little cabin in the graveyard, and it's like with the map on the wall, and yet somehow there's all this tension just from zooming in on a pin and a map. Like, they don't really ever show you what happens. They just tell you and you imagine it. And and the actors were pretty good too, except the guy with the Scottish accent. That was a really bad Scottish accent.
It gets a thumbs down from you.
But the movie in general, I loved it. Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
It's like an inner sanctum mystery to me.
Yeah. A little bit stretched out. Yeah.
It's a Chiller Theater movie, Bill, too. It aired, I think, like 7 times on Chiller Theater. It was on a time.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
The other thing I was thinking too, I was going through some of Sue Lyon's movies, and like it's wild because like her first movie, obviously Lolita, was her biggest movie, probably of her career. Like that was a huge deal. But the other movies that I wanted to bring up that I really like her in are Murder in a Blue World, which is the Spanish Clockwork Orange kind of sort of remake with her in it, which is wild because she's also in Kubrick's Lolita. And then she followed this movie up. You know, we talked about, was she having an affair with Band in this movie? Maybe, because End of the World is the next movie she's in. Another movie that I know Bill enjoys.
Wait, what movie?
End of the World.
Oh my God!
I haven't seen that one. Haven't seen that one.
Oh, that's John Hayes, not Band, but Richard Band produced it.
Oh my God, Jen, it's fucking amazing. It's
I'm putting that on the list.
Thing. End of the World. You have to see it.
Christopher Lee's in it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But the same year that she was in Crash, she's also in Smash Up on Interstate 5, the TV movie. So of the 2 movies she made in 1976, they were both car crash movies. So she, probably by that point, she was like, I've seen hundreds of car crashes this year. I'll follow it up with End of the World. And then she's in the Astral Factor, a movie Jen and I were talking about during this, which is wild. And then her last final film role, Alligator. So really, yeah, I was gonna say, Sean, I Bury the Living and Cemetery Man make a pretty cool double feature. So especially if you're buying that new Severin one, it's going to be expensive. But guess what? Pretty awesome. There's a Cemetery Man
Yeah.
snow globe, by the way, too, in the Severin sale bill.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Oh my god! I got to say, I'm going to go through the movies that Severin's putting out, but the thing I'm most excited about, everybody that is close to me already got messages, but that I knew would like it. But there's an Independent International T-shirt coming out in the Severin sale, which is the greatest merch ever. You get that logo on a shirt, like I'm so excited about that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Because they're putting out 2 Raiders of the Living Dead and the Dead one are both coming out as part of the sale. So super jazzed about that. Nora, I would say the first movie is 100% worth your time. It's great.
Yep.
There's a lot of car-on-car violence, wheelchair-on-dog violence. Yeah.
It's really out there.
Yeah.
Whether Nora
you don't really
will dig
see
it,
the
though,
dog get hurt, though. It's kind of off camera. You just see.
Yeah. It was very tastefully done.
Yeah.
Vivi, she still didn't like it. She
No.
jumped down off the couch when it happened. She heard those howls of Zoltan.
Yeah. Cubby too. Cubby was like, "Oh, this movie is just overwhelming."
Leaf is correct. Andrew Davis was listed as one of the DPs on Crash, and he went on to do Over the Edge, Final Terror, Angel, and then Code of Silence, Under Siege, and The Fugitive. Correct. He did.
Wow.
I forgot to mention that. Yep.
Probably some good action experience doing this movie with all the tons of car crashes and the action in it. There's one, even the little stuff like when the old people are getting run off the road, when those cars kind of come near each other, there's some really cool stuff in there.
Oh, I felt so bad for those old people. It totally was not their fault that they died. Although, they were being annoying.
That's the thing, is like anyone that gets it. Yeah, anybody that annoys her is going to pay for it.
Yeah. It's just, but there were a couple of stunts in this one. I was definitely sure somebody got hurt. Like that, you didn't walk away from that.
What did you say the name of the guy was? Three Fingers was the name of the guy that rigged all the
Three Finger Harry.
Yeah, definitely from that. I'm so glad they had that many cameras going on that gas station explosion, because that was out of control how much there is.
Yep. Apparently he had blown 2 of his fingers off on a previous film. So
that's a guy to hire, though. I mean, he's not going to make that mistake again. I assume he's like Jack Black in that one movie. What's the one with where they're making the war movie and he's put all the explosives up? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. The one with Downey.
Rolling Thunder. Or no, not Rolling. Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, I love that scene where he's like overcome by the
Thunder.
Yeah,
I like Rolling Thunder too. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the chat. Always knows the answer. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. And Sean said this movie had more dummy drops than all of the 70s Jalo dummy drops put together. Agreed. There's a lot of dummy drops in this, but yeah, pretty great. I love this movie. I saw it.
Three Fingered Harry shook hands with danger like Three Fingered Joe. Yep. That's correct.
Yeah. You got to be careful when you're doing stunts. This movie, I don't think anybody was. They're like, "Hey, sorry we blew up this other house, and sorry none of these cars had titles or licenses." Like, were these, like you said about how the cars were got? Was it like a Gone in 60 Seconds? Like he had somebody grabbing these cars because there's some pretty high end cars in it too.
He probably just went around to like different places and said, I'll take it because he had a budget, And then literally this, and I think it said he was like, he owed like $8,000 in fines and fees at the end of the day. And it's like,
God, that was a hell of a lot of money back then too. $8,000. They had a really nice 50s car in the very beginning. I don't know what kind of car that was, but it was in really nice condition. It was it?
Yeah.
50s looking car with the wings on the
Oh
back?
no, that was
It just looks like a super old car in
it's
great
not a Ford
shape.
Fairlane, I don't think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a shame to see a lot of those beautiful
Yeah.
cars destroyed.
Yeah, totally.
Who knows, man? Maybe they were lemons and we didn't know it.
Has anybody here seen the next movie, Killdozer? Most people probably have, right?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, movie's been around forever. Well, so has
Yeah.
Crash, but Killdozer is from '74. It was a couple years older than Crash.
They reran Killdozer a couple of times when I
Mhm.
remember it rerunning. So
It was a CBS late night movie. I do know that it played on that.
Yeah.
It played 3 times on the CBS late night movie: 76, 77, and 78.
I think that's probably when I saw it was 78. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it started on ABC in 74. But it's a Theodore Spurgeon story originally that was turned into this. And there is even, I said before, a Marvel Comics adaptation in the issue 6 of Worlds Unknown. And man, the Killdozer in the Marvel Comics version looks so much more intimidating. It literally is red and it has eyes and teeth. Like it looks like what you want it to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
And it says "as seen on TV" in the bottom, which is my favorite thing to see on old comics. It has a little circle.
I'm gonna
"as
have to
seen on
seek that
TV."
out. Look for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Conan O'Brien used to always say Killdozer on the show, would mention it. Beavis and Butthead too. So it kind of got some reference in it. It's not the highest budget, but that's okay. And I love the cast. There's like we were talking
Yeah.
about Clint Walker, who's in kind of has that once upon a time in Hollywood career where he was a huge TV star on Cheyenne. And then Jen and I were talking about he had a skiing accident where the ski pole literally went into his heart. What did you say? Like it was so cold. What happened about
The
that?
steam was rising from the hole when the paramedics came to take him away.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they pronounced him dead on the operating table, and then someone brought him back to life.
Holy shit.
Which is wild. He's in the Finks
He
too,
looks
which
like
I
a
really
big,
like.
strong guy, though. Like he's a big guy.
He's 6'7". Yeah, he's a huge guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the Finks, Snow Beast, Scream of the Wolf, tons of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Love
a
Scream of
big
the Wolf.
Western star.
That's on my list of things to ask you guys to show. Scream of the Wolf.
Yeah.
You don't have to twist our arm to show Scream of the Wolf.
No, I love that one. Love it.
Is that the one with Joanne Flug?
Yes.
Okay. I always get them mixed up with the other Howling in the Woods with Barbara Eden, and there's another.
I like that movie too, though. So I'm good with that.
I love that one.
They're both good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry Hagman and Barbara Eden together in
again
thriller film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
James Wainwright's in this. He was on TV's Beyond Westworld, the attempt to have a Westworld TV series, and Carl Betts, who was Donna Reed's husband on the TV show, and of course Neville Brand, probably the most important for us, from Without Warning, Eyes of the Night, Eaten Alive, tons of stuff. Yeah, James.
You said Evils of the Night.
Evils of the Night.
Yeah, and James A. Watson Jr. and of course Vegas star Robert Urich. I loved as a kid that Vegas was spelled with a $sign. That always stopped me up when I was a kid. It's Vegas. Robert Urich was a big deal, even up until his death, because he was on the new Love Boat. He was the replacement captain. And Spencer for Hire. He had some really good luck on TV shows.
I honestly believe that just a little bit of Urich is enough to change you forever.
Didn't Urich take over Unsolved Mysteries from Robert Stack?
No, it's
he did one of those mystery.
Okay, but there was another show that was like that with Robert Urich.
He did one of those mystery TV show voiceovers. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what show.
He'd come out and he goes, "I'm Robert Urich," and he'd be like in a room filled with creepy antiques, and it was
Robert Urich.
We watch so much Unsolved now because it's on the Pluto channel and it just runs nonstop.
Exactly.
And, it's so good.
It is so good. I agree.
Yeah. I just yell, "Oh, Robert Stack," every time you've done it again.
Yeah.
You've brought us a story about. What I love about it is like there are true crime elements, but then there's also like, hey, we're going to go to this Catholic shrine where people have been healed, and by the way, there's a UFO, and by the way, demons. Like all in the same episode. Like you're like, what? How did they get all this into one movie?
Will
Yep.
someone please make a sinister Robert Urich movie? Like, I want to see a fucking like old dark house movie where there's like a shadowy figure and the lightning strikes and we see that it's Robert Urich. Can someone do that, please?
Please.
Oh,
I need
I
this
really like
before I die.
I like the location of Killdozer. It's all on the beach. It's supposed to be an island. There's nobody else around. It's kind of like The Thing in that way. It's a bunch of dudes and they're stuck there.
Yeah.
And you know, so and the really cool alien intelligence, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. I guess we never really get an explanation.
They never tell us, no. But it doesn't matter. They over-explain everything nowadays. These movies, you didn't need to know.
Yeah.
It was better when you didn't know.
Invitation to Hell's the other Robert Urich movie. I like the Wes Craven.
With Susan
directed.
Lucci. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie's
Ooh.
awesome. It's
That is
really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Like also I love at the end the special effects budget is so low that when he has on the spacesuit, he's a 12-inch G.I. Joe figure. And he's like talking, but it's like obviously a toy. And
Didn't Wes Craven direct that?
Yeah.
He sure did, yeah.
Sam's fave.
I said something nice about Wes Craven. I like Wes Craven TV movies. His TV movies are good. Yeah, I like it.
He should have stuck with roughy porn and TV movies.
Yeah.
Wes Craven. Who are you? We don't know you.
Roughy porn with weird comic interludes.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
That movie
Just
just doesn't, I never
like,
want to see The Last House on the Left again.
People are like, I know this movie's been really rough and really offended some people. Maybe if we put a little comedy in it, everybody will forgive us. They're like, no, maybe not.
Did you guys ever see that really awful remake called Chaos?
Mm-mm.
I think it was 2005 is when that was made. And it was like it was originally conceived as a remake of The Last House on the Left. David DeFalco directed it. The wrestler.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And
I just watched the 2012 one, whatever year that one came out. The Wes Craven produced one.
This one sort of fell through as a remake of Last House, but Sage Stallone was in it, and I guess Sage Stallone had a hand in developing it as a Last House remake. And for some reason, at the last minute, they just cut all ties to Last House, but it's literally the same fucking story. And I don't know, like it was really sort of gross about how they presented the content of Last House on the Left. There was something really, it went beyond the original film in one regard. And then it just seemed like the whole reason that they made this movie was to show this scene where this chick got cut up really good. It was like really explicit and right up there in your face and everything. And I don't know, I got a creepy feeling while watching it. So they succeeded
the
in that
2012
regard.
one, the original script for it had a supernatural twist in it in the original script, and Wes Craven was like, no, we're not going to do that. To his credit, he's like, that seems a little, people are going to be really upset about that. It works pretty well. It's out now from Arrow. It just came out on UHD from Arrow, if you want to see it. I dug it. I had not seen it, and I liked it.
Oh,
Deadly Blessing is not bad, Steve.
What's that?
The oil test sequence in Killdozer when they're trying to figure out which dozer is the Killdozer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the Killdozer aired at 8:30 at night. Like that's the family hour. So there were kids the next day walking past bulldozers that were like, could this be the Killdozer?
You could show this movie to kids. I mean,
yeah, but it's still like it has like some frightening elements where you're like the next day. Impressionable kids like me may be afraid of construction equipment for some time after seeing Killdozer.
It could happen. It could
It
happen
could
for
happen.
real.
I mean, an alien could beam itself down and find itself in a bulldozer.
Sure.
Yeah. 6 men playing a deadly game of cat and mouse with a machine that wants to kill them. I'm trying to do the Goulardi voice for ABC. The ABC
Yeah.
Saturday Night Suspense movie. You kids like Clint Walker? Yeah.
Do you remember
That
the
Killdozer's-
elevator with
Yeah.
Carol Lindley? See, Killdozer could have just bulldozed the building over.
The Killdozer looks gigantic in this picture. That's not the
Mhm.
scale.
No.
It's a little larger than life.
Yeah, a little bit. And
I
the
like
Clint
how the
Walker's
headlights are like
6'7", so
eyes.
that's a big Killdozer.
What did you say, Jennifer?
I like how the headlights look like eyes. That's the best part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has a face. It has
Yeah.
a big frowny face.
That's my thing then. That's it. Anthropomorphized devices or vehicles and animals that attack.
Killdozer. Oh, you know, at the end of Crash, when the guy was shooting at the windshield of the car, I kept thinking, is he doing that because he thinks the car can see him? Like, how do you go take on a car with a shotgun and you're riding around in a wheelchair?
Only if you hit the fuel tank.
I guess.
Like, even then, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Does that work on possessed cars? Maybe.
Bill, I'm gonna. I actually have the Killdozer comic up. I'm gonna share it quickly.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's Gil Kane drew that, obviously, but I like how they got the as seen on TV over here.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, look how scary Killdozer looks in that picture.
I love him. Look at his eyes and his mouth.
Isn't he cute? He's kind of cute.
Yeah. He is.
Who
Look
would
at his
make a thing
eyebrows.
like that though? That's like who would make that jagged teeth thing on a real bulldozer? Like, let's make this bulldozer look like a demon.
Well, it happened after the transformation.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also like that it talks on this one. It says, "You dared defy me, and so you must die."
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it really trying to get him to do that he was defiant about?
It also has like the other thing in this comic cover has that's missing in the movie is boobs. They're like, you know what? We need to put a girl with her top almost off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We
yeah.
make that happen. Anyway, that's the
Killdozer's a sausage fest.
yeah.
The movie,
Yeah.
anyway.
It
The
is.
comic, not so much.
That's
There-
all
there
right.
you- yeah, there you go. But that's exciting. I kind of want to have that comic.
The Adventures of
And,
Killdozer.
The adventure, and I also wish that it had gone more than one issue. You know what I mean? You imagine like
Yeah,
what happens in the next
for
issue.
sure.
Killdozer
Yeah.
gets an army of other construction vehicles and takes out a whole town, maximum overdrive style.
It turns
Yeah.
into Stephen King. Yeah.
Yeah, is U of M grad Steve King? Bill?
Right. Steve
Yeah.
King. Sorry.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
People aren't used to hearing his, given
Real
name,
name.
Stephen King.
yeah.
I miss his old he used to have a Twitter account where it was just about his dog,
Yeah.
The
the
Thing.
corgi, the thing of evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing of Evil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I missed the Thing of Evil.
Yeah. I kind of always thought maybe there'd be a sequel to Killdozer because the intelligence just could be in another rock. It could be in
Yeah.
anywhere, really. It could happen it could happen, I mean, it could go inside of a chainsaw or something. And
Mhm.
that would be
I
awesome.
like
A
David's
Cuisinart.
idea that we get a Hanna-Barbera cartoon where Killdozer looks like Speed Buggy, but he's evil.
Yes.
Killdozer
I like-
versus Herbie the Love Bug.
Oh my God! Now you're talking a movie.
Killdozer versus the car. I'd love to see.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
I
who
love it.
is badder, Killdozer or the car? Because
Yeah.
they were the car didn't have any of that heft that Killdozer has,
Mhm.
but I mean, it didn't matter what you did to the car; it would just show up again in a minute, fine. So
You could do Killdozer and Christine, where there's a scene where Killdozer smashes it and slowly drives away, and as it's driving away in the background, you see it popping out and rebuilding
yeah.
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah. Oh,
Killdozer, how
Killdozer.
silly.
That's what would make just like a movie where Killdozer fights all other cars, like the Ready Player One of possessed car movies, with Killdozer as the central conceit, ending with Herbie running it off the road, or Kit of TV's Night Rider.
Kids. It was only a matter of
I
time
like
before we got there.
I love that the evil car on Knight Rider was KARR car, and that there was even a evil Michael Knight, like his son, who was the one that he was trying to replace, had become drove car. God, I watched so much dumb TV as a kid. How did I
Yeah,
turn
me
out
too.
at all? Yeah, I was like, I remember like being like crazy, telling people like,
Guilty.
"Did you watch Knight Rider last night?" And we had conversations about it, like adult conversations.
I
Speaking
remember.
of dumb TV, go ahead.
No, I remember kids in school talking about Killdozer after
Do
it aired.
you?
Yeah, like kids.
Whoa.
Oh, did you see that? It was so cool. You know,
My wife
They
said
were into it,
Killdozer
though.
forgot to move the bodies in Cuesta Verde.
The reviews were good, Jennifer.
yeah. All
Yeah.
the kids in my class loved it. All the boys were like, "Yeah, this was awesome. You gotta watch it."
I think the biggest I ever heard kids talk in school was the day after the first episode of V aired. Like literally the teacher had to give us like a half an hour to talk. They're like, get it out of your systems. And we're like, at the end, it was like World War II and the old guy drew a V on the poster and it was like, what's going to happen tonight? And it was
Oh
like,
my God, that
that level of
was
excitement
amazing.
was like fever pitch at the end of it.
Yeah.
The
I
first
was like,
miniseries
fuck
is so
yeah.
fucking good. It's so great. The other stuff
Fuck
after
those
it's good,
visitors, man. We don't have to
Yeah.
take this shit.
You know what's great? The
I'm gonna
visitors
draw a
were
V
so
on this
smart that
poster.
they brought toys with them to sell toys that kids had action figures of them. That's how much kids were taught to love the
Oh
visitors.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when they would rip part of their face away
Oh.
and there was a lizard underneath. Holy shit.
The
You know, we were all
end
thinking
of
it.
when
Yeah.
the other prophecy bear of my childhood was V Baby. Is when he comes out, the first baby, the human one's fine, but the other one comes out and he's like, and he like pulls himself out. Like that scene
Yeah.
of him coming out, I remember watching it in my parents' kitchen, and my brother and I just shouting at the top of our lungs, like, "Holy shit!" Like that was
I
on
used to think
TV,
that-
like a V Baby pulling itself out. Oh my God.
I used to think that about George Bush.
Oh,
I would see him on TV and I'm like, man, they're gonna rip part of his face
Oh,
one day.
yeah.
There's gonna be a fucking lizard under there.
yeah. Oh, the aliens even had that cool logo, that snake S that was like on their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that whole show's so well designed. Like they also have red and black Nazi colors. There's so much like
Yeah.
coded stuff within that show, but it's so good. And then like the guy who created it, they cut the budget for the second one and then cut him out by the time of the TV show, which is why nothing else is as good as the original. But man,
Yeah.
oh man, I can't even. I will never have that much excitement of my life knowing that like, how did I even function in school that day? Right, the whole day was like, well, V's going to be on in 6 hours. Like it was like 2:00. Like everything was like leading to that, and I'm like, I can't even do math. Like V is going to be on, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the 18
I
was on
started to
after
get
the
bummed out about V. Like I fell out of love with the V series so
Yeah.
fast
Yeah.
because every single ad and TV guide every week was like, oh, tonight Diana and so fight to the death.
Yeah.
There was never a death in any of the fights. Like that somebody would run in at the last minute and be like, stop.
Mhm.
And they would just put a stop to them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not what you promised us in the ad. And they did that every week.
The
after
only
week
good
after
thing
week.
I will say about the TV show is that Sybil Danny's in one episode, and where they send her from the V homeworld to check in on her.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mhm.
100%. That's great casting. Let's keep that up.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Jane
really.
Badler was just in a really great British movie I watched, a horror movie, where it's based on a comic and it's about a weed farm where she is the matron of the weed farm, and when people smoke her weed, she gets power over them. It's really well done.
Oh.
Yeah, she still looks great too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I also like that Willie is like kind of the good V. There were good V's in it, and
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff in it. It maybe just better if it had
Mhm.
just been the first miniseries. I get it, but did we know back then? No.
The good V's are the ones that make it all happen, you know.
Yeah.
I always love a good V. A good V is at the top of my list of priorities. We need to do the cocktail. How
Yeah,
about that?
Yeah. Also, about the movies this week before we do the cocktail bill, both these movies have an exclamation point in their name. It's something else Jen brought to the show. These are 2 movies with exclamation points.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you're back, Jen.
What happened there?
I don't know. You just blinked out for a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
because
can
I'm
hear
getting
you.
a prompt to unmute my video. Okay.
Oh, no,
won't
you're
touch
not
it.
muted.
Yeah. Okay.
BeLive does that every once in a while. It just like kicks you off for a brief second.
Well, I remember Sam specifically saying that you loved films with an exclamation point in the title. So I was thinking about that when I picked these 2. I was like,
perfect. Yeah. I love it.
I love that everybody thought we were doing Cronenberg's Crash, which I would totally love to do on the program. That would have to come with a really big warning, though, because Crash is basically pornography.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
We were actually going to do the adult drama Crash that's about how it brought together a lot of lives.
No.
Not that Sandra Bullock bullshit.
That was so boring, that movie. I was just like, oh my God.
This is like the good Cronenberg Crash fuck movie about car crashes. And I love that scene in the beginning where he gets in the first car crash and in the opposite car is Holly Hunter. And like she opens her coat and she's nude underneath. Yeah. It's just like, ooh, before he passes out.
My favorite scene in that movie is the Rosanna Arquette, James Spader scarf. I won't say it.
Oh, no, you can say it. We're all thinking it.
Yeah, that scene is awesome because it went there. You're like,
what? I like that Elias Koteas was in that movie and Ninja Turtles in the same year.
Yeah. Oh my God, that scene with Elias Koteas and James Spader in the back seat of that car. I did not see that coming. A mile away. When the first time I watched Crash, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Cronenberg is fucking going for it. That was the first time any director ever served me on a silver platter like that. I was like, holy shit. Thank you, David Cronenberg.
Yeah. That's got a great score, that movie.
Oh,
it's just
beautiful.
A fantastic score.
Everything about that movie is perfection. I mean, I understand it's not some people's thing.
Yeah.
Because it really does go really far with
it.
The
Really
set.
does. Yeah.
But
it's,
you know, I'm really into it.
Yeah, it's a good film.
And Chris said it's his favorite Cronenberg film, Chris Fasonic.
Oh, what's my favorite Cronenberg film?
Yes.
Ooh.
Why don't you think about it? We'll do the cocktail.
Yeah,
and when we come back, you can tell
that.
us your favorite Cronenberg film.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
It's Bob the Builder.
Hey. So a lot of times when I look these recipes up, I try to come up with something. Sometimes it's on my own. Sometimes I'm looking at other recipes. And I was like, is there a drink called the KILLDOZER? There is. And I'm like, great, now I got to drink it. This drink is strong. This drink
It's a little guy.
Not for everybody. It's a shot. We're going to do an ounce of high proof rum. Get as high as you can go. I think it's about 137 proof, which is pretty strong. We're going to do some grain alcohol. We're going to use some grain alcohol from our friends at Country Hammer and the Pina Colada, which is 70 proof. So it's pretty strong. Not full grain alcohol, but pretty close. And then this is just the little bit of sugar in a gas tank. This is the Malibu. We're going to do a half an ounce of that. And they all go together. Cubby knows what's up. Becca got me this little glass just for the drinks just like this.
Crate and barrel.
Delicate sipping drink. Like you'll probably see me at a party.
Let me see how it looks on you. Oh.
Hi. Oh, yeah, how are you? Oh, yes. Hi. That's what it would be like. Pazuzu? Yes, I know. Yes. That's what it would be like. So here we go. Pazuzu for the KILLDOZER. I'm drinking this way before the movie. So tonight on the show, you're like, seems drunk.
Why is he asleep?
Why is he asleep? Well, he's asleep because he got up at 5 in the morning for a craft show. Why is he drunk? Because he's been drinking all day. So, Pazuzu. This one's got fire in it.
Oof.
That is good. Yeah, Cubby. What up? Strong but coconutty. It's like you get the strength and you're like, burn. Coconut. Pazuzu.
I was starting to see you dissolve right before our very
Yes.
eyes.
It hit me like right here, like around the eyes. Like it was. After that, I literally went and slept for 3 hours. Like I was like NyQuil. Like I laid down. I was like, good night.
I am not drinking that. I have to admit.
Good. I will say it's good.
I made the Hans
It'll
cocktail
probably make
tonight.
It'll make KILLDOZER feel a lot faster.
That one, that cocktail that you posted for Hans, that's what I have in Pazuzu tonight.
Oh, it's 5 a.m. here, so water.
Yeah.
Jen Upton, you are such a trooper for doing this show with us until this time of the night. I applaud.
I love you
your
guys.
pluck.
You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm gonna say
you.
I'm a tie
Yes.
for my favorite Cronenberg movie is a tie between The Brood and Dead Ringers.
Ooh.
Because Dead Ringers is just it's beautiful in every way.
But
It's-
The Brood.
The Brood is awesome, and it has Oliver Reed.
You're speaking Bill's language.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's very with this.
Good old Ollie. We should show Spasms on this show too.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Death, aka Death Bite.
Yeah.
I remember when that was
Yeah.
promoted in Famous Monsters and Fangoria as
Yeah.
Death Bite.
He did a few Canadian films around the same that time. Yeah.
Yeah, Vince says his favorite is They Came From Within. It's either that one or Rabid for me, my favorite
Okay.
Cronenberg.
Mm.
Because I mean, I know he did so much more intricate films, and his vision got different as he went along as a filmmaker. His stuff's usually great. And there's something about those early movies that just
Yeah.
kind of like it lost after he started to get money for his movies. And it couldn't help but be lost. You know, you could never
Yeah.
hold on to that and still keep making successful films. So, but I missed that part of his career when it was it was nothing more than just a weird idea and just a minimum of special effects.
Yeah. It's a special period of time in Canadian cinema, really. Definitely.
Why is it that when so many films, if they have, the bigger the budget is, the worse it gets? Like that, it starts to lose something the more they get money to make the films. Or is that just in my imagination?
No, you're correct. I think maybe because with money, there's more to lose. So they're less likely to take chances and take risks. So it's rare to see a really great big budget movie these days. Like it's just, you know what you're getting. It's, you know.
That's what seems so.
It's been tested and through so many people that have to stand.
That's what's so futile about all of these remakes and reboots and Exorcist Believer and everything. I mean, on the one hand, it's great that they're keeping these ideas alive, but I mean, you know, how are you going to make a movie that's going to be as good as The Exorcist? Or
It's
going to
not.
have
You're
some
never,
kind of
ever, never.
It's impossible. You just can't do it. So, you know, why make these movies? It's pure commercialism, and that's never an inspiration. Like if you're doing something to please a whole bunch of investors, you better do something fantastic.
Yeah.
If you have a huge budget, and like you said, Jennifer, like they're not going to take as many chances with a movie like that.
Really, it's almost a miracle that Friedkin was allowed to do what he did with the budget that he had. I mean, that 70s was different. It was just a different time. And
that was the time, you know, it happened right at the right time.
Right. Exactly. All that changed in the 80s. It got too safe.
Don't you think studios were kind of desperate at that time? Like they wanted big hit movies because it was the early 70s. They were reaching for like sort of that connection with the counterculture that Easy Rider
Yeah.
provided, and they were getting more daring, and that was sort of, for a brief period of time, that was the respected manner of making a film. It was taking a chance and making something that nobody had ever seen, and we'll never get that back. I doubt we'll ever get that back.
No, I don't think so. No.
What do you think about, there's movies like Chinatown and stuff that came out that are big budget studio movies that would never get made today. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That are filled with, like, you know, there's so many ambiguous endings in 70s movies and downer endings and
Yeah.
movies and major chances. Like, that's amazing. Like, today, those would be super small movies that nobody saw when they're, you know, they see them maybe at the Oscars and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think maybe Joker was an exception because that was pretty dark and it's very 70s like. But even then, I didn't feel like it took as many chances as it could have or should have. It's still a great movie. I like Joker, but it just was almost like trying to be that 70s type thing and not just spontaneously being that.
Yeah, I think that's the problem I also have with, like, a lot of the new movies that are, like, giallo influenced, where it's like you're making movies trying to make those shots and you're keeping in mind your influences versus just making a movie.
Yeah.
And it can be influenced by that versus, like, slavishly influenced by
Comment of the evening from Frank Palvino. Travolta sparked a revolution in horror. Ever since his role in The Devil's Reign.
Devil's Reign.
Yeah. That John Travolta movie, Devil's Reign.
Yeah.
The movie that Anton LaVey got him into?
Yes.
Yes.
Shatner.
Oh my God. Shatner is just genius. I'm still quivering over that screening of Impulse that we saw.
Oh yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely a deathbed moment. Like I'm gonna remember
Goat.
that. Yes. Oh my God, Borgnine, just genius. I honestly believe that just a little bit of Borgnine is enough to change you forever.
I agree, 100%.
He's wonderful in that movie. I love the
It's time for.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big fan of Borgnine Goat.
Oh, I love him. Is he light up or is that just?
No, I bought him. You can get him online. I just Googled one day Baphomet and it came up and I clicked buy.
Baphomet, you beautiful. You beautiful demon, you.
He's cute.
Let me kiss you.
The only modern horror movie that I got good feels for, and I know it's divisive. I really like The Witch a lot. I thought that was pretty good.
I like The Witch. Why is that divisive?
There's a lot of people that don't like it because it's very slow moving and it takes a while. But I would argue by the end of the movie, when the reveal finally happens, you're like, yeah, that it was worth waiting all the time.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of fell in love with Black Phillip like right away. I was like, that coat is awesome.
The real Black Phillip is not allowed to be in movies anymore. He is that unruly. Like, he was that out of control. Yeah.
Yep.
As he should be.
Yeah. And I really like Beyond the Black
He was the
Rainbow
method too.
Yeah.
He believed the method too.
Mm.
And I like Beyond the Black Rainbow a lot, the movie that Pesmos Cosmatos made before Mandy. I think that movie's really got some frightening, weird stuff in it. Also, maybe not a movie to watch super high, because I thought every car going past the house was involved with the movie. So maybe I had a more 3D visceral experience than anyone else seeing it.
I didn't see that one. I liked Mandy. Mandy was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, did you like Mandy? I wasn't crazy about that.
I liked it a lot.
I didn't like it a lot. I liked it, but I saw it with a crowded theater with the right people.
Yeah.
So it was good experience. Yeah.
Movies like that make me upset. Like when there's a home invasion or something like that, or somebody's like, you know, they burn her over a fire or something in that movie. I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Why did I come to see like Chaos? I mentioned earlier.
Beyond the Black Rainbow is wild because it's about another dimension that people keep going into, and it changes people. There's a girl that was born within it. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, it's a movie that doesn't really explain a lot of it to you. And it's just weird. Like, and it's like almost like his movies are kind of like doom metal bands where it's like we're gonna play the same riff for like an hour, and then
Mhm.
when the riff changes, it gets real weird. Like that's what I dig about it. So
Yeah, I have
yeah,
to
I
agree with
really
you
like.
on that. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
soundscape to his films. That's
yeah.
very interesting. Yeah,
Richard Brake is really great in Mandy too. He's only in it for a minute,
yeah,
but I really want him to get in a movie that's not a Rob Zombie movie someday. That he can like kind of be somebody really good because he's always the best part of whatever he's in. But he's
mm,
like o- often that's petty theft in some of the movies he's in. But I really dig him in
yeah,
that stuff. So yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to address Leaf's comment about Cronenberg doing great with bigger budgets. I totally agree.
hmm
Mhm.
The Fly is amazing. That's probably like, his first really super mainstream
Yeah,
film,
yeah.
definitely.
The Fly.
I really like
Um,
Videodrome. I think Videodrome is
Yeah.
yeah,
awesome,
Mhm.
I like that too.
and I
Mhm.
like
So
Existence too.
Yeah.
mhm.
It's
Yep.
pretty good. It's
He's always special, there's just something about those early films. That's all I meant.
No,
That's
yeah.
I
sort of
get
my
that. Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
I think there's so much cool stuff even in his later stuff, like the idea in Existence that video games are these flesh covered things that you have to plug into your body, and you're not
Mm.
sure when you're gonna be in the game and when you're not. And then it's like really like it came out the same time as The Matrix, and I remember thinking like, well, this is the movie I kind of wanted The Matrix to be closer to. Just
Yeah,
like
I felt
absolute
the same way.
weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, the scene with them building the gun out of the Chinese food is crazy. Like, that's an awesome
Yeah.
scene too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I really like
Yeah.
that, but I think also because it feels like, a video drum with just a different media. Like, it's funny that he continually makes movies about violence in media while making the most violent movies. Like, it's very much the, Tenebrae trick that Argento did where he's like, "How dare people say that I'm horrible to women in a movie? Here's a movie where I kill 11 women, and,
Mm.
this is my statement that they aren't right." Like, but maybe they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But,
Mm.
there's, that's why I'm always hopeful though when new horror comes out that it's like, maybe this movie will be good. Like, but we've talked about before, I think House of the Devil is another one that's pretty close to. I know it's also made to be retro, but I would say that's a more post 2000s horror movie that I really like.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Also, probably because it has a cast of people in it like Tom Noonan and Mary Warnoff that are from older movies that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's a connection to that era that we're really super fond of. So
yeah,
that
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
and it has
But
like the title cards that feel very 70s, early 80s. It's good though.
Jennifer's choice of The Brood for Cronenberg's her favorite film, that just really is amazing because The Brood is sort of like that's one of his most difficult films,
It
I
is.
think,
Yeah.
of one of the earlier ones. That's fascinating to me because I love The Brood. I really
Yeah.
do love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what turns you on about The Brood?
I love the idea of the physical manifestation of trauma
Mhm.
and it being generational. Like all that stuff is being talked about in the mainstream now. He did it
Mhm.
on film like 40 years ago, like more than 40 years ago. And it's just that image of her with the thing on her.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Oh
Like,
my god. And the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah. Yeah. I
I
think
think I
it's
was
like
12 years old.
really, really interesting concept.
I didn't understand it the first time I saw it, I admit. Like, I just had no clue where it was coming from because I was young. And then I
Yeah.
watched it again after I was an adult, and I was like, "Holy shit, this movie is, like, really super heavy and deep."
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. No happy endings.
No.
It's just, it's like, oh.
That poor teacher. She
Yeah.
got beat to death just for
I
being
think
in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Cronenberg
Totally.
is still making movies though that are challenging, and it's like he's not like one of the rare directors that like maybe they aren't as big as his older movies, but he's still making movies that are well reviewed and well considered versus like other directors that have kind of that fall off near the ends of their careers.
It's remarkable too that a guy who started, I mean, he doesn't just do horror now,
Yeah.
but it's rare for a horror director to get that kind of consistent critical acclaim.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need a new Killdozer that's an electric vehicle.
With a solar panel on top, there'd be no stopping it.
Yeah. Climate change Killdozer.
Oh man.
Even in that short story that Stephen King wrote, Trucks, it ends with humanity being enslaved by gassing up all these vehicles, and they wouldn't even be necessary in that Stephen King university U of M grad Steve King. His story about the trucks, yeah, it's not like Killdozer Solar. What about Killdozer in this movie? I don't remember an issue of it being fueled up.
That's a good point. Wouldn't it just run out of fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention Duel, how Duel was a TV movie also.
Yeah.
So this was sort of a time-honored tradition of a vehicle turning on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Duel played theaters in other countries. You know what I mean? That's how good it was.
Yeah, it was
Which is,
theatrical.
and a lot of TV movies did. Actually, a lot of TV episodes did too. The Spider-Man TV episodes all ran. Yeah, Matt, I agree. It runs on hate.
Yeah, definitely. We don't know why it hates.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing we forgot to mention too is the director. Before I know we're getting ready to start, the director of Killdozer did a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wanting to talk about the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, Jerry London.
Jerry London happened to direct my favorite episode of the Brady Bunch. It's the one where the boys scare the girls, and then the girls scare the boys, and then the whole family turns on Alice and scares Alice, but she ends up breaking that bust of Mr. Brady that Carol Brady made in her ceramics class. It's really convoluted. There's a ghost in the attic that's made out of a dry cleaner bag. It's a terrifying Halloween episode of the Brady Bunch.
He was directing stuff all the way through the mid 2000s too. Some of his other films are Rent-A-Cop with Burt Reynolds and Liza Minnelli. Yes, he did that. He did, man, if you think of a TV series, he probably worked on it. He did all 5 episodes of Shogun in 1980, which was a huge deal when it was on. He did the TV movie World of Darkness.
Yeah.
And episodes of Bionic Woman, Bionic Man, 6 episodes of that. 4 Kojak, Beretta, tons of stuff. Happy Days. He really was all over the place, especially on TV, which is cool. He's got a kind of interesting career. Started on Hogan's Heroes as the editor. He did 113 episodes of Hogan's Heroes editing. So a good TV career that actually made movies like Killdozer that were. I mean, it's just from a TV movie from 1974 to be remembered nearly 40 years later, almost 50 years later, and be on a show like this. That's pretty cool. So it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Jennifer Upton, what can we expect from you in the near future? Do you have anything you want to plug?
I do. Well, my book is still out.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to buy it, you can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or Etsy. And I think you said the first quarter of next year.
Yes.
You're going to do a special issue of.
Oh, Drive-In Asylum.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to talk about that, but.
Oh, we can talk about it. The next issue of Drive-In Asylum is going to be number 25. And it's going to feature some interviews with some fantastic folks. But the one after that is going to be the 1980 yearbook. So that's going to be our follow-up to the yearbook series of Drive-In Asylum. The last one was really successful, 1981. We've got lots of fabulous stuff to talk about in 1980.
Yep.
Ooh,
I've got an article in there called 8 Cannibal Films from 1980.
Yeah.
presented menu style.
Oh,
It's delicious. You're gonna love it, Sam.
and you're gonna be on the Making Tarantino episode. What, the 24th? That comes out?
24th. Yep.
You're doing Lady Snowblood. Pretty exciting.
Yep. We're discussing a bunch of other stuff too, as we do here. But yeah, Lady Snowblood primarily the topic at hand. But yeah, we go off into all different tangents. So
yeah,
that
I
was
sent
fun.
him a thing about Majo Kai about, I'm like, oh my god, like I just think of her movies like Stray Cat Rock and all the other films she was in. Like they're so, all the Scorpion movies.
All the Scorpion films.
All the
Stray Cat Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, Beast Stable is my favorite one of the Scorpion movies. It's so good.
I like Convict 41. Is it?
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good one.
it's hard to pay. They're all wild. They're all awesome. But she's in so much good stuff, and
yeah,
it'll lead you. And also, two of her songs end up being in Kill Bill. So like, there's a really, I think that I'm really excited to hear the episode and hear where you guys take it. It's a fun podcast too, because he really gets deep into how these movies impacted Tarantino and where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Yep. A lot of good stuff. So it's been fun. Been a fun couple of weeks. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's getting quiet coming up to the holidays, So that'll
It's
be
that
it.
time of the year, it's time to regenerate, recoup, and start again fresh in 2024.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me again. As usual, it's always so much fun, and I always learn something, and you always make me laugh. So
thanks for coming. Thanks for staying up late. I know it's
no
even
worries.
later for you, so thank you.
God, it's after 5 a.m. there, isn't it?
It is. I'm gonna crash. Ha!
God, sleep late tomorrow, please. And but I hope for the rest of you'll be back on the third segment after our second feature, Killdozer. We'll have lots to say. And thanks again, Jennifer Upton, for being on the program.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.